Okay, now here's a video I think encapsulates everything I believe in for success and accomplishing things in life and learning how to feed yourself and having a good time doing it. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of videos and self-helps about the so-called hidden secrets to life, and there aren't secrets really. They're just hard work. And a sense of getting stuff out of your head that you think is important, and it really isn't. Now, this young guy, he had jobs that he really didn't like, and until he started figuring out that, God, how do I fulfill my own destiny? Why do I keep getting up and working for money every day, and then just getting money and then going back and doing it, and same thing, and hitting reset every day, doing something that you feel mediocre at, you don't really like doing, you'd rather be doing something else, and gosh, to me, it's sort of like your life is just draining sand, through your fingers every day. And how do you stop that? Well, he talks, and I think very elegantly, about how it really didn't take any magic. He had no background in marketing. He had no background in entrepreneuring. He just knew what he liked to do. He loved games. That's what it was. And he just started trying to figure out what it was to how do you make a game? And he got all that information for free, really just searching on the internet and finding people and talk to them for free. And there's no secrets in life. See, that's what we all think there's some secret or magic to doing things in life. And the secret really, and the magic is in us doing things. He didn't spend any money, too. He didn't hire experts. He believed that if he didn't know how to do everything himself, then what's he going to do if he doesn't have money? Then he can't hire somebody to solve a problem, then he's going to be out of business. Now that's silly. See, and that's what this is about too. How do you become resourceful enough to learn what you really want to do that's key to your success? He didn't know anything about marketing on the internet, but he taught himself. Sure, it didn't take one afternoon, and sure it doesn't take you're a millionaire next Tuesday. No, you invest the time and the effort. That it's worth it for you. You got a lifetime ahead of you to do the things you really want to do. So who cares if it takes you an extra week, an extra month to learn something? And how he explains. The only thing that you have to do is problem solve. You have a problem today, just figure out that problem. Don't ignore it. Don't try to throw money at it. Just take it apart and do it. We're all smart enough. I believe that 80% of us are smart enough to do 80% of the things in life, and you don't have to spend money in order to succeed. Now listen, he raised $600,000 on the internet for his ideas. Finally, sure, he didn't do it the first day, but now he wants to do it all the time. All his free time is spent trying to develop his skills, his idea, his self-worth, and his contribution for other people. To help them, because he spends all the time thinking about this now. Before, he had a job that he hated and didn't know what life is going to be like for him, and it was going to be uncomfortable and just in this circle and cage and getting money and spending it, getting money and spending it. Now, he doesn't work for money. He works for his passion, what he's doing. And that's really how he contributes the most. And he doesn't waste time anymore. Before, when he had a lousy job, he's doing stuff. He say, he put off doing something. I got to watch Game of Thrones or something like that. That was so more important. But no, if you can't wait to get up in the morning to do what you want to do, man, so you can give as much as you possibly can every day. And here's a guy who figured that out with no skills, background, or money, and got $600,000 on the internet, and no name behind him or anything like that. It's just your drive and wanting to do it and failing and trying to figure out any problem in your way for that. So just go out and keep solving problems. Watch how he did it. Well, Michael Cole, gamely GameYgames.com. That's GamelynGames. See, I flunked English in college, so people who can't spell like me, I sympathize. But that's where to find your product. And you raised, like, God, over $600,000 almost on Kickstarter for these little micro games, tiny little games you made for people that they can carry around in their fanny pack and always have this incredible experience for themselves, right?
Right, who would have thunk, right? I mean, it's beautiful. Who would have ever woke up and been like, I'm going to make tiny little games
for tiny little people. No, these are for big people. Yeah. But really, they're sophisticated board games, right? You have Tiny Epic Kingdoms, and the other one is called what?
Tiny Epic Defenders. And those are two of a product line of several other games that I have, but those are really the signature games. Those are the real small ones that you're kind of talking about, that micro game, small box game, footprint. But you're right, they are a bit thinkier. They're a bit more of a brain buster than what a lot of the micro games on the market are. And that's really what's enticing about it, is because you can go and spend $100 on a game that's going to burn your whole weekend. You're going to spend 13 hours playing this huge game. Or you can grab Tiny Epic Kingdoms,
that's
super
it.
small little game.
That's it.
This is it.
Wow.
And it fits. I mean, if you got cargo pants, it's going to fit in your pocket. And you can bust that out on a coffee table or even at a bar because it's small enough. And when you're done playing it, you're going to have, I mean, the experience that you're going to have had is like any of those big box games, and that is really the appeal.
But to me, I'm trying to encourage people to. I mean, you got $600,000 from the internet now to do your games, right? But it didn't happen overnight, did you? You had to fall on your butt a bunch of times, right?
Absolutely. You know, and you're right. It didn't just start from zero to hero overnight. I mean, I've been working at this for a little over 3 years.
Wow.
And only recently have I started to really turn a profit. You know, and that's a testament to the importance of sticking to it, right? That is going to be the difference between somebody who has great ideas and somebody who has ideas and is also successful, is the person that sticks to it, right? Everybody's like, okay, I've got a good idea. I'm willing to put like 30 days into it. If my life hasn't changed in 30 days, I'm scrapping the idea and I'm going back to answering phones or serving tables or doing whatever, right? You can't. You got it. I mean, you got to give it some time. Even you know, if I would have quit after my first year, I'd still be working my regular old day job. But I didn't. You know, I stuck to it. I knew inside, I can control my destiny. That is what is so beautiful about today's day and age and the internet and the accessibility of crowdfunding, is that you're in control. You really can. If you dedicate yourself, you can.
And you didn't have to, I mean, you didn't have to go out and hire big consultants to figure out how to get this $600,000. You figured it out yourself because anybody could do it on the internet, right? Right.
It just takes time, right? It takes intention. You have to live an intentional life, and you have to be like, okay, I'm really going to do this. You know, kind of a tangent here. I actually was really inspired by a great question that was posed by Alan Watts, and he says, okay, so if money were not a question, if you had all the money in the world and money were not a question, what would you do with your time? How would you spend your time? Okay, so start spending your time that way.
Absolutely, man.
Forget about money and just start spending your time that way. Because how else are you going to master your craft or your cause if you're not truly with it, if you're not truly dedicated to it? If money is the most important thing, then you'll constantly be just doing things you don't want to get money, to live a life of doing things you don't want. And it's just this cycle where you just constantly do things you don't want just to make ends meet.
But you will be, you know, to me, because like you wanted to do these board games so much, so every time you failed, that was just an opportunity to keep learning. Yeah. If you said, well, I'm a failure and gone, you would never be able to build on that knowledge, would you? It'd go anywhere.
Absolutely. I mean, what is it? What is it saying? It's something like, I don't know, if you win, I don't know. If you lose, you're smart. If you lose, you're wiser or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
If,
Absolutely.
you know,
We
and
all
that's the
lose.
thing.
Yeah. And
You
that's
got
a
to.
key of following your heart. You pick something that you really your heart was in. So no matter what happens, you're going to be there tomorrow to learn and develop from that experience of failing. And that's how you got to success. You didn't hire a social marketing expert. You figured that out yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it all started with just kind of really being inspired and taking some inspirational kind of motivation. And I was like, all right, I got to do something I love. I got to change my life. I got to stop being in this cycle of just working for somebody else, clocking in 8 hours a day, 40 plus hours a week, just so that I can get the bills paid. Just so that I can go back and rinse and repeat and do this all over again. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this cycle. I want to live life. I want to do what I love. I want to be, you know, I want to share my passion. And so that's when I really started getting into gaming, because who am I kidding? I was born in the 80s. I grew up when Nintendo came out, okay? And so I'm a gamer. I'm of that era. I'm of that time. I grew up playing games my whole life. And so when I stopped, you know, with just wasting my free time, you know, when I got free time, I would just waste it.
Right.
When I stopped doing that, that's all I had in my mind. Games.
Yeah,
so I was like, well, then why don't I make games,
Absolutely.
right? There's a chance, you know, there's nobody telling me that I can't do this, you know, except for myself.
Right.
I can break that bond and I can do this. So I made a game. I spent a year developing this grand game, this huge old game. I traveled out to a very popular convention in Indianapolis, and I started pitching my game to publishers, you know, and the first publisher's like, not my style. I don't make games like this. You know, the next publisher was like, I don't think the market likes the mechanics in your game. Next guy's like, the game's too big. Okay, so everybody's telling me no. You know what? Thank you. Thanks to every single person who told me no, because now I did it all myself because of that. So thank you.
Exactly. Now the $600,000 is yours, and you don't have to share it with anybody.
So I love it. So I found out. Okay, so going through the traditional gateway of finding a publisher is very, very difficult, and it is just really kind of daunting.
Gatekeepers,
And so I was like, I got to do this myself. I got to figure out a way to do this myself. So what do? I go to Google. I mean, that's a start. I don't have any sort of like marketing education. I don't have this like tremendous background of entrepreneurialism. I go to Google and I type in, how do I make a board game? Okay, how do I make a board game? And I start finding these blogs of people who have made board games and how they did it.
Yes.
And where do the arrows point? Crowdfunding. And so I'm like, ooh, interesting. Crowdfunding. Very, very interesting. So I start looking into crowdfunding, okay, and I find that Kickstarter happens to be the most you know, prominent for, especially for board games, you know, and for kind of project-based things. And so I was like, all right. So then I just started really learning a bit about Kickstarter, and then it's just, you know, the trick method. I mean, everybody's like, oh, what's the secret to your success? There's no secret. There's no secret. It's exactly what you thought it was. Hard work, time, dedication, passion, and problem solving, right? One problem at a time. Don't be like, oh, how am I going to get from 0 to 60? How are you going to get from 0 to 1?
Right.
Once you get past 1, how are you going to get past 2?
Right.
And then you learn, and you just take it step by step.
Yeah, I mean, it is, like I said, the magic, and I think that's what stops people from doing things in life. They feel they can't do anything. So if you, without any knowledge, could go out and figure out social media and sell your stuff, and you never spent a nickel to anybody on how to use social media, you just went digging the ditches yourself to figure it out, and that gives you strong and strength instead of hiring somebody, giving them the knowledge because they got to figure it out, and then you're stuck with nothing the next time, right?
Right, exactly. If I were to hire out people to do my social media, I mean, that really okay. So crowdfunding is the monetization of social media, right? And so that's the bread and butter. So if I were to hire somebody to handle my social media because for whatever reason, I put onto myself some sort of notion that I can't do it, which is fake and made up. But if I had put that on myself and then hired somebody to do it, what happens when I don't have the money next time to hire that person? I'm done? Is that it for me?
Yeah.
You know, so I had to learn it myself. I had to get in there. I had to get my feet wet. I had to really work at it. right? I mean, I just actually had to sit in front of the computer and learn it. I couldn't just be like, well, I'll learn it tomorrow because Game of Thrones is on. I gotta watch Game of Thrones, you know. So I'm not going to learn it now. I'm going to learn it later.
Right.
And then you just keep procrastinating and procrastinating.
It's easy. It's easy to do. Well, you're a delight, Michael, and an inspiration to the rest of us. And even with the success I've had, I still get roadblocks in my mind. I can't do that. And this person over there must be magic because they know how to do it or something. And you believe somebody else always has magic, and I'll buy that. And you can't buy somebody else's magic.
No.
You know, we got our own magic, right?
It's in you. It's in every single person. Nobody has any distinct advantage over you.
Exactly.
It's the passion is within, and that is going to drive. And Matthew, I love you, man. I've watched a lot of your videos lately, and I'm inspired by you because you're so energetic. You have so much passion, and you live such an inspired life. And I think that is fantastic. And I think that is from within. And I think every single person, not missing one, who watches this video, who watches your videos, has that in them, they just gotta connect to it.
And to me, that's the perfect life. I feel so spoiled. I wake up every morning just dying to do what I'm doing. You know, I just can't wait to get up in the morning. And I think that is such a gift. And like you found your passion. When you find that, then all the other bullshit in life that's a pain in the ass, life is terrible. And so to get through all that, you have to have a passion, something bigger than you that you're important about, not just money.
Right.
Right. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for the kind words, but more importantly, for inspiring people that they don't have to hire consultants to figure out how to do this. Anybody can get out there and just start failing.
You got to, right? That's how you learn. And then you just get up and you do it again and you apply what you learned.
Thank you so much, Michael. Take care. My best wishes to your family and to Tiny Kingdoms. Tiny Epic Kingdoms. Right.
Tiny Epic Kingdoms.
And GamelyGames.com. GameLynGames.com.
Yep,
Take
absolutely.
care.
Hey, thank you, Matthew.
Thank you. Pleasure.